Welcome to this Toxic Waste Challenge video where we're going to be exploring the ingredients in Clinique's Dramatically Moisturizing Gel. But before we start, and I welcome you to do this with every video that we start reviewing each of the products, just to give you an idea, watch the introduction because it's going to talk about where I got my research, how I am 100% convinced that 95% of you, yes, you watching right now, have no idea what you're putting on your skin. And just as a preview of that, most skincare is full of what I call empty calories. And we're going to review all of the ingredients in Clinique today, or toxic agents. And instead of using the best apple in the bunch, the best of all your worlds, because you are reading your nutritional panel and you're learning what's in there, you are aging like the top row as compared to the bottom row, where you're really not building collagen and elastin. So having said that, I would like to just make sure that remind you that 1,300 calories in Europe is banned by the cosmetic industry, while the FDA continues to allow our products to have a lot of toxic agents, and we're going to be talking about what they look like. And just before we get started on learning about all of Clinique's ingredients right here, here's an overview of them, and we're going to go over them one by one. And you can be the judge whether you think that they're good or bad, but I'm just going to give you the facts. I do want to thank Ulta, because Ulta makes it very easy. There's their website with all their ingredient listed, so you can actually have a look for yourself and get into good habits before you purchase product, that you can actually see what you're putting on your skin. So having that said, why don't we get on with what are all of these active ingredients and what are they doing for you? Now, we're going to go through them one by one, but you can see the list there. But but I also want you to see, and let me show you this on the Ulta website here. Here it says right at the top, and I appreciate this. I'm not seeing it here, but I'll show you. I copied it from that page so I could have everything on one sheet so I could find it fast for you. Yes, it says the formula facts. Let's do that first. You know, here it says the formula facts, and all of these things are true. Yes, I believe them that it's allergy tested. Yes, I believe it's fragrance free, because I'm not seeing any fragrances in there other than from the natural oils that are in there. Yeah, but it's full of all these colorants, which are toxic. Acnegenic, okay, it's dermatologist developed, all of that's good. Paraben free, yeah, that's good. But when you really look at all the other chemicals that in it, is it really good for your skin or not? And we're going to have a look at those in a second. And by the way, I'm promising you that I'm going to pronounce all these words right. I'm going to do my best, but whatever that free stuff is, let's believe that it's true. However, as you start looking at all these ingredients and the research that I've done with them, you can decide whether you want to continue to put the Clinique product on your skin. So let's get started here, and let's read these active ingredients together. You know, I'm being a little silly here because this can be kind of boring and tedious, but the thing is, this is serious business. I've had breast cancer. I don't want anyone to get sick on my watch. The truth of the matter is, whether you have wrinkles or not isn't my concern. You know, that's your choice to make. However, I'm always thrilled to work with you and to do my best as a licensed esthetician to work with you on how can you get your best results. But I won't know if I can't work with you. So I care about you if you allow me to, but certainly I really care whether you have you get cancer or not, because it's epidemic in the United States, and that's the reason why I believe that a lot of these chemicals are banned throughout Europe. So let's get started. First ingredient, and by the way, the first ingredient is always the highest concentration, and it tapers from them. For example, dimethicone is the second highest concentration. The third is glycerin, then petroleum, and so on. So we're just going to go through these. First of all, the base of the moisturizer is water, agua. I always like to say to my clients, it pisses me off when they say agua or the French word. It's like sometimes they don't even say water. I'm glad Clinique does. It's like they think that we're stupid or something, or trying to pull the wool over our eyes, which is kind of what they're doing when they're saying paraben free and it's allergy tested and fragrance free, when there's a lot of other chemicals in here, such as dimethicone, starting right at the top here, that it's an ingredient that's really not good. And we're just going to briefly go through all these. All of these will be posted on underneath the video, but at least you can, all my notes will be posted there too. They're not going to be fancy, but they'll be posted there for you to look at. It's an artificial coating that causes skin issues on many places. It traps everything under the skin, including bacteria, sebum, which are natural oils, and impurities, which can lead to increased breakouts and blackheads. Here you go. The coating action actually prevents the skin from performing its normal activities like sweating, temperature regulating, sloughing off dead skin, which is exfoliation, is super important in the process of anti-aging. And here we go. There's some other, it's bad for on top of all this, dimethicone is non-biodegradable, and it's bad for the environment. Okay, so we're not going to read every single thing, but we're just going to talk about these quickly. Isodecaine is generally thought to be safe, but you may be wondering whether it has adverse effects on your skin. My mouth doesn't move as fast as my mind does, so try to keep up. Try to keep up with what's going on in this crazy mind of mine. Okay, but it does say if you're sensitive, try to refrain from taking artificial fragrances or colors that may irritate skin. Now, we did learn that this Clinique product is fragrance free, except you'll see at the bottom, and we can just scroll right down there very quickly, that it is full of all of these dyes. Now, these dyes are chemicals, and according to the FDA, with fragrance and colorants, that it could be up to 1,000 chemicals that you and I will never know what it is. So let's say it says fragrance number 87 or yellow dye number 5 or red number 4. We will never know what's in there to make up that formula. So fragrances and colorants really are good skincare, in my opinion, because we never know what could be in there. Next item on from most ingredient to the next is butylene alcohol. It's used as a preservative, solvent. Some say that exposure to a butylene alcohol isn't harmful, but also some say no matter what it is harmful. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this guy. It's a synthetic skin conditioning agent and surfactant belonging to a chemical class of siloxanes or silicones. What does that mean? What does that mean? It's a coating that goes onto your skin after you put it on, and kind of like the ingredient above the dimethicone. What it does, it might make your skin feel good, but it is not penetrating the skin layer. It's not doing anything. So it's just making your skin have the illusion that your skin is feeling good without it actually doing something. So it's kind of lying with the illusion of what's actually happening to your skin. I much rather you use some coconut oil or olive oil on your skin, because at least it's penetrating into your skin and giving it some hydration, which is exactly what glycerin does, which is our next ingredient. It's not It doesn't really build collagen and elastin, but what it does, it gives you a skin tightening and toning effect because it's a humidificant. One day I'm going to learn how to pronounce that. What that means is it's drawing moisture into the body, into your skin, which also helps you, the moisture from not evaporating. So it gives you the illusion that your skin is plumper. We're talking about laminaria. It's used for medicine. It says it contains iodine, an element that the body needs to make thyroid hormones. Okay, I don't really know that much about it, but if let's just take that information for what it is. A root extract, it's the same thing that happens to be in red wine. It's resveratrol, which is said to be good for your skin, assuming you don't drink too much. Alcohol and smoking and the sun are probably the worst detriments to aging quicker than you can. In order of from best to worst to not so worst, I would say that smoking is the worst. I've seen people, and remember, I see about 1,000 women today, women and men, face to face, up close and personal. You know the smokers right away because you can just tell they're gray and their whole skin is drawn. Smoking, I think, is the worst. The sun is probably the second, and alcohol in moderation is the third. Alcohol in excess is awful for your skin too. Let's talk about this. I don't want to pronounce them. I'm pointing at it right now. It's a type of yeast that's used in cosmetics and skincare. So if you care about gluten, it does help optimize cellular oxygenation, and it decreases irritation. Yet, if you're gluten-free, you might want to consider not using this. Okay, so here we have cucumber extract, which we know is good for hydration. We've got barley. Barley, they have antioxidant properties, which is really, really good. And there's no research to it really being helpful according to all these other experts and these web pages that I research, and those are on the introduction that I invite you to have a look at. Sunflower oil, wonderful. It is high in vitamin E. It's an emollient, which traps moisture and keeps skin well hydrated, and a good thing, it also prevents damage to cells by ultraviolet light, which means that it does provide a little bit of UV protection. I wouldn't use it specifically for UV protection, but it's good. And since we're brought up UV protection, I want you to know, and we're going to do a video on this. The misnomer about sunscreen, 95% of the time, that's my big number because that's the number that keeps coming up. Most sunscreens are more toxic than they do to protect yourself from the sun. It's always good to get a little bit of vitamin D, but in most sunscreens, and we're going to talk about, I don't know if you can see this here. I'm going to try to show it to you. There's all the active ingredients that are suggested that you do not use in your skincare, and these are the primary ingredients in your UV protection. Plus and we're going to talk about that on another time. So let's go back to the ingredients in our oh, that's my phone. It's telling me to breathe. Let's talk. I just don't want this to be so long and tedious. So that's why I'm talking fast, so we get through this without me boring you to death. Caffeine, yay, that's a good thing. Caffeine is really good to reduce cellulite. And it's really good. Here, let me give you a skincare tip. See, you're going to get all sorts of things in here. If, in fact, you were going to be in a bathing suit and you didn't want especially if you were doing a photo shoot. Hey, 63 years old, I ain't doing a photo shoot in my bathing suit. But if, in fact, you ever had an opportunity to, you could take coffee grinds, let them cool off, give yourself a scrub on your cellulite. areas, and what it does, it dehydrates fat cells, and it does give you the illusion that your skin is tighter. So the caffeine in the moisturizer is making your skin look smoother because does have a dehydrating effect. Trehalose, it serves as a moisturizer, protectant, and antioxidant, and that's a really good thing. Here we've got, now we're kind of in the good category now before we get to more of the bad ingredients. The trehalose, it is a moisturizer, protectant, and antioxidant, and it effectively draws moisture into your skin, kind of like the next item. And the next item is hyaluronic acid, which it's a form of hyaluronic acid that draws moisture in. Hyaluronic acid is a great ingredient because what it does is it holds 1000% its weight in water. So it plumps up your skin automatically, and it really does make your skin feel good, except the verdict is out. I've spoken to a lot of chemists about it. Does it give you long-term results because it's building collagen and elastin, or is it just giving you the illusion that your skin is plumped up because it is bringing in all that moisturizer really quickly? So I still don't know the answer. My verdict is out, even with working with, like I said, the 1,000 people a year. And I would be delighted to work with you also. If we don't have the opportunity to meet personally, don't forget we do have, let me show this to you. We do have the FaceTime consults where we can get on face to face. I can really have a look at your skin, seeing what's going on, and from there make the best recommendations for you to start reversing aging and ultimately reverse and then age very, very slowly. As compared to aging like the top row. Now that we're here for a second, let's just say that on my website, youthduo.com, there's tons of video testimonials and actually pictures of some women and men that have been using Youth Duo for a while, and they are really seeing amazing results. And I am absolutely thrilled to have the opportunity to work with them and work with you as well. Okay, here we go. The next ingredient, thank you for not making me pronounce them because it would take so long and I know that I would butcher them. But this is a form of vitamin A. And yes, it's really good. It's not only used as a preservative, and a lot of the other for example, Youth Duo uses a lot of vitamin A as a preservative as compared to these other toxic preservatives. Our shelf life is 1.5 years, which is kind of on the shorter end because most of the over-the-counter department store or drugstore brand ingredients have really heavy-duty preservatives in it because they have no idea by the time they make it how long it's going to sit in the warehouse in order to get to you, to sit on the shelf, and so on. So they have to use all these preservatives in there. But again, those preservatives most of the time are cancer agents or possibly cancer agents, and they're going into your body and in 27 seconds. So they're kind of slow poison. But vitamin E is an excellent one. Plus, you know that E is great for skin healing and scars and reducing that too. Here we have chamomile. Here we have a silicone. It functions as a film forming agent. The film left behind has water binding property that leaves a smooth feel on the skin. So remember when I was talking about these empty calories and where is it doing anything and what the illusion is of whether these active ingredients are really helping or not? This happens to be one of them. It just sits on the surface of your skin. It's a synthetic, it's a silicone, and sometimes, as you see down here, they're nylon. It's made of nylon fibers. They're actually sitting on your skin to give the illusion that it's doing something because it feels nice as compared to your skin feeling nice on its own or having a nice texture on its own. Silica is a thickener. Propylene glycol is considered a penetration enhancer that may enhance skin penetration of other chemicals. But it says you should exercise caution when using these products because it might limit the other ingredients from absorption. I would like to assume that Clinique's chemists are A1. They've been in business for a long time and they have figured all of that out. But this ingredient, since I'm not the judge, I'm not the chemist, I'm just making an assumption here, but this is what this see, this is why I don't want to do the pronunciation, that this ingredient, there you go, does have for low dermal absorption. So the whole idea is you want all these active ingredients to penetrate into your skin because it's the only way it's going to say, wake up, let's start building collagen and elastin, because it's the only way you're going to get long-term results as compared to these gimmicks. Oh, okay, here's a next ingredient. It helps water to mix with oil and dirt so they can be rinsed away. It's an emulsifying agent. Okay, this is good. So let's say this is good, even though it's kind of a glycol. You know, it's an alcohol, which really isn't that good because alcohols can be very drying. But what it's doing is it helps with exfoliation and helps get all the grit off your skin. It's better used in cleansers, in my opinion, if in fact you have to use it at all. In our green tea cleansing mask, we use organic aloe as and alpha hydroxy acids to exfoliate the skin, and they're natural fruit acids. Instead to do the same thing in a very, very nice way. This other next item here, helps with acne. Yay, so that's a good thing. Okay, here's our Laurus. Laurus can be found, they're colorless liquids. Now, I am not exactly sure what this is, but when I was reading EWG, it's a number 3 on the scale. 1 being the worst, 1 being the best, less toxic, 3 being 3 going up the scale, 10 being the worst. I'm not real sure what it is, but they are polyethers of alcohol, and you know, alcohol is very drying on the skin, and I'd like to learn more about this one. And as we go through some of these other products, I think I'll make sure that I have a better understanding of what this is when it comes up again. All right, here we go. We've got a polymer. A polymer is a synthetic agent that is used in cosmetics. It's a thickener, texture, and emulsifying stabilizer. This is one of those products that goes on top of your skin that feels good, but it really doesn't do anything. A carbomer, it's a thickening agent also, and it keeps it from separating into oil and water. Personally, I much rather shake my ingredients up to make sure that there's not ingredients in here that does that. One of the glycols, a humectant, a skin conditioning agent that leads to moisturization. This is good. It also functions as a stabilizer, increase antimicrobial activity of other preservatives. That's really good, because what that's saying is that as you use skincare, you contaminate it by putting your fingers in it, or it gets to oil. So microbes are going to grow as they are. So this helps a lot. Here we go. But glycol, all these alcohols aren't necessarily good. Where the Caprylyl is good, the hexylene isn't. It's a low evaporating solvent with complete water solubility. By the way, so far as we've been reading all of these ingredients, we didn't have any ingredients that go into the fat molecules of your skin. For as much our bodies are, what do they say, 90% water or something like that, but there's what makes up a lot of the structure and the roundness and the fullness of your skin are the fat, the lipids with a part of your skin. And so far as we've been going through these ingredients, we haven't discussed any ingredients that go into the lipids, and those are just as important. Okay, so with the hexylene, this is kind of gross, isn't it? It's used for the coating industry for lacquers, varnishes, printing inks, and both oil and water-based paint. So that doesn't sound real kind of good. Okay, tromethamine. May have many causes. Oh, this is not good. It often affects the balance of water and electrolytes in the body. Yay, it's used to treat metabolic acidosis, which is the electrolyte imbalance, but you also have it also happens naturally with bypass surgery or cardiac arrest. So, we're getting less and less into the concentrations here, but these ingredients really are not, totally pretty here. Here we go. We have calcium disodium, EDTA. It binds with metal ions and it prevents metals from accumulating on the skin. It's what helps skincare foam. I don't know why it would be in the moisturizer, but it is. Here we go, and is classified. Here we go here. It's classified as high human health priority, expected to be toxic or harmful. Is not a dermal irritant or sensitizer and is not absorbed by the skin easily. Okay, as we go along, I'm sure we're going to learn more about these ingredients. So just take it at face value what this is now. I just want to do one little item at a time here. Okay, here we've got alcohol, antibacterial in cosmetics, stabilizer. It can irritate skin and eyes and cause blistering. Sometimes it's not suggested that you do skincare when you're going out in the sun based upon the active ingredients in it. And with these active ingredients, sometimes it activates those UV rays to go penetrate your skin more and cause more damage, which is exactly what we were talking about a few minutes ago with the sunscreen agents. Again, we're going to do a toxic waste session on these active ingredients that are in skincare for your UV protection, but you'll just have to wait till we get that one done. Potassium sorbate. Yeah, I can pronounce that one okay. Here we go. Thickeners and preservatives may cause allergic or intolerance reaction. As a preservative, it's regarded safe, non-toxic, but prolonged use in large quantities. We're not using large quantities on your skin here, but why could you be getting allergies? It is a form of sorbic acid naturally found in some fruit, and it's nature identical. Okay, that's kind of not so bad. The other thing we've got are all these colorants. We already talked about the colorants and fragrances. So when you see a fragrance or a colorant in there, according to the FDA, those could be, just repeating myself here, it could be up to 1,000 chemicals in a fragrance or in a colorant that you and I will never know what's in there. And according to the FDA, they do not need to disclose it. So, there you go. I forgot to put this back on so you could see them. I don't know why you can't see. There you go. There's your potassium sorbate, and there's your other colorants on there. So that is your information on Clinique. Start looking at all your other ingredients and their other products too, so you can have an idea what they're doing and how they're they might be manipulating their pitch with all these active ingredients, and there was quite a few in there that were the collie, what are they, the carbomers and the lauroleths and the that sit, and the olefins that sit on the skin, that really allow, and especially here this dimethicone, which was your second ingredient there, which traps everything underneath it, and that's what's making your skin feel so nice, and you're not really rebuilding your collagen and elastin. So that is our ultimate goal here, to start aging like the bottom row as compared to the top row, getting smarter and wiser, but we don't have to look old, and making conscious choices about the skincare that we're using. Are we selecting the best apple in the bunch, or are we using empty calories and cancer agents? So I'd like to say big love to you. Know that I want to grow old beautifully with you. And what my biggest joy is sharing my heart with you. And really, there's nothing more exciting to me than when you come up and you see me, or you send me a text or an email and you say, gosh, I'm seeing results and I'm absolutely loving it. Thank you for the great work. And please go to my website, youthduo.com, because I've got tons of client video testimonials where they're actually saying how much they like specifically the Youth Duo, the serum and the moisturizer and the turkey necklace. And just as a little reminder, don't forget to use the turkey necklace on your face also. And there's videos there that explain why. Anyway, big love to you. I hope you enjoyed our walk through Clinique, and watch the other videos. And if you haven't seen the intro yet, you'll learn about how I did my research and how I'm learning with you, because I'm not a chemist, but certainly 95% of you, and again, I'm talking to you have no idea what you're putting on your skin, and you're wasting your time and money. Toxic because of the carcinogens, waste because, like I said, you're wasting your time and money. I like to ramble. I'm done. Big love to you. I'm approachable. Love to help you with your skin. Talk soon. Bye.